channel. Apologies for the technical issues. My fault entirely. We're using a new software to stream with, so I'll hand you straight over to Kat, and he can run you through the situation and let you know what's going on.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'll be honest, I'm not 100% sure what's going on. Howard sent agree to disagree an email. Well, it's about 2 months ago now, isn't it, Howard? Just asking like if he could come on, have a sort of debate. And we've arranged to have a chat tonight, but we haven't really nailed the topic down. We've got like a choice of topics, haven't we, which you're willing to talk about. So you say no?
No. I'm sorry, but you actually emailed me to appear on your show.
Did I? Was it one of my phishing emails? Okay, so I emailed Howard to see if he would come on the show. Sorry, mate. I'll address that. I emailed that many people and get that many emails. But anyway, so Howard has come up with a list of topics that he possibly wants to discuss. And I believe he's put a video together for us to watch as like an opener. And we'll just see where the debate goes. So I'm interested to see what he's got. So Howard, have you got your video there?
Nah.
No. Okay.
I didn't bother because from previous experiences with that accomplice of yours, FTFE, I've realized that it's not a lack of evidence with you guys. It's you're all suffering mind control. We've all been hypnotized, and I've realized that I need to spend a bit more time pointing out the patterns that I'm seeing. And maybe then you'll see the evidence that's at plain sight that we've all been showing you for the last few years.
Okay, well we'll do it like this. I'll give you your opening. You can have your 8-minute sort of opening on whatever topic is you want. I'll have 8 minutes to respond. You know, we agreed over email. This is one place where we don't talk over each other. We don't interrupt. You'll not be interrupted, and you know, as long as I'm not interrupted, we won't have to be muting each other. Yeah, you don't need to crush fingers. I will not interrupt you. I don't do that over here. So hopefully we'll get somewhere with it. Obviously, the chances of me agreeing with you are slim, but that's the nature of the channel, isn't it? Let's maybe agree to disagree. So I'll give you your 8 minutes, and I will sit and listen to what you got to say. Off you go. Have you got timer there, Creaky, actually, if you're moderating?
Yeah. There we are. Whenever you're ready, Howard.
Okay. So, my name's Howard George Stirrer, and I'm a globe skeptic. I've been suffering for the last few years from ad hominem insults because I'm a little bit dyslexic, and sometimes I mix up my words, like thermostat instead of thermometer. And I get ridiculed for making primary observations instead of trusting in secondary information. So, like many other people that are searching for truth, I consider myself the bloke that cries wolf. For the last 4 years, I've been raising awareness about the dangers of maintaining blind faith in what you're told to believe, and that it's dangerous to just go along with the official narratives just because, you know, you're dazzled, you might be being misled by the Pied Piper. And, you know, I've been called all sorts, but I'm not a conspiracy theorist. You can't label me paranoid. I'm not seeking attention. I wouldn't want this kind of negative attention. I'm just well aware of manipulation and delusion being real and not just something you see on television. And I've had personal experience, so like all of us. So now I'm trying to help others by exposing the lies and promoting the scientific method to end all these divisive debates. During these 4 years, I've offered money on national Spanish television. I've promoted the reproduction and comparison of results from some practical experiments. Easy. I've done face-to-face interviews, and I'm debating YouTubers and keyboard warriors at all hours of the day. So yeah, I've got personal experience. I've noticed many reoccurring patterns involving intellectual arrogance, sarcasm, slander. And this year, the use of guilt, shame, and fear, all to deflect from us using common sense to instead react on emotions. Now, so I didn't bother making a video because the problem isn't a lack of evidence. The problem's psychological. So, let's see if we can get to it. And like I say, we've all been hypnotized and we're all waking up from different deceptions. Sadly, the people that are more academically qualified and good at memorizing things and maybe not dyslexic like me, they're the hardest ones to wake up because they're too proud of their knowledge that they've acquired to realize that what they know might not be true and that they should check for themselves. So let's go through the list that I gave you of stuff that I'm willing to talk about and see what evidence you have, because I don't have any beliefs. I'm asking questions, I'm raising awareness, and I'm asking people to compare results instead of their opinions. So, where was I? So YouTube videos have been deemed non-trustworthy. Depictions of observations have been intentionally classified as memes to discount their importance. Just as the term conspiracy theorist has been used to dissociate integrity from an investigation made against the authoritative figure in question. So you subscribers to this channel have got the free will to either search for truth or to stay in bliss. I can only point out the patterns and the simple first-hand truths that a lot of us are being distracted from because maybe the devil's in the details. So please take note. Number 1, globe syndrome. We know that spirals are used to help hypnotize people and get them to go in a trance-like state of suggestion. So we've been given spirals with the globe. We're told we're spinning. We're told that we're evolving the sun, and we're told that the sun's shooting through space, lost in space. Without any evidence, we're told to believe in this with blind faith and ignore our common senses and all the reproducible evidence that we can experience. Now, here's the patterns. The catchphrase is flat earthers. I'm not a flat earther. I don't like this picture that you've used for the thumbnail, and I'm sick of being called a flat earther. I'm a globe skeptic. I'm not claiming a model. I'm not preaching no beliefs. I'm asking for evidence because I can see way too far for the dimensions that we're told this earth is. So they're lying to us about the dimensions. Like I said in my first video, you can't prove curvature at any distance without optical illusions and atmospheric conditions. Yet we can see really far without any optical illusions or special conditions. So yeah, the globe's a lie. I don't know what shape it is. Maybe it's a 4th or 5th dimensional shape. We're just thinking 3D shapes because they like us to stay in this little paradigm of arguing. So we've been given the negative priming with all the images of the boats going off. We've been hit with repetition. Every time you turn on an iPhone, you get a globe. They spin it round to laugh at us for doing scientific investigations and experiments, making out we're science deniers. You're the sci-fi fanatics for preaching your beliefs and secondary information and just sticking to the 3D shapes. And why? Just to keep us distracted and divided from exploring for ourselves, from the fact that children are being indoctrinated with beliefs as if they're facts, and the massive misappropriation of taxes, all by planting agents in special places and promoting content creators that keep people from making progress, keep people in the debate over a 3D shape. You guys are great at that. While flaunting the revelation of the method like a hypnotist, with multiple theories to keep us confused, CGI that looks so fake that it must be real, and contradictory statements, all causing people who have invested their time to learn and even committed themselves to promote their findings and the official narrative. This makes fanatics, and it causes us to be in denial. Like a manipulated partner that suffers cognitive dissonance when catching their lover cheating, they make excuses and black out the ugly truths. Yeah. Number 2, evolution. So you got no evidence of evolution. All we've seen is kinds changing within kinds. So dogs make different kinds of dogs. Cats make different kinds of cats. We've never seen a species jump to another kind, as you know from debating Kent Hovid. We've got repetition of evolution everywhere. We keep seeing these images of the monkeys. We hear these spin stories about Lucy and these skeletons that are later found out to be false. Lucy, maybe for Lucifer, who knows? And all these far-fetched explanations and large numbers of years that can't be justified. This equals religion, faith, and it causes us to have the programmed reaction of pride, because we feel like we've advanced from primitives while ignoring all the grand architecture and the free energy understanding that they possessed, because we're full of pride. And they use the Hegelian dialectic in all of these points. I'll name a few, because they give us the millions of years, knowing, like I say, we can't prove it, but it justifies it if you believe it. And the real reason of evolution is because our ego, just like you could call it Kundalini if you're into yoga, or go to the Garden of Eden if you're into the Bible. Our ego wants to evolve into something better than we are. So we're obsessed with evolution, and we make up crap like the Big Bang, which again has got its own catchphrase. It is the Big Bang. And all the negative priming we get, positive priming, should I say, from all the space motion pictures, all the cartoon satellites with their dodgy imagery, the rocket launches over the Bermuda Triangles. So, you know, you've got no evidence for Big Bang. We just get more repetition and more scientists spinning, saying that, you know, it's a fact and that anything else is theory, when it's called the theory of evolution. It's the theory of Big Bang. It's all crap. And you guys are preaching beliefs, acting like you're into science, and then you're ridiculing people that are actually doing science. So yeah, for 4 years.
Howard, that's 8 minutes, pal.
No problem. I've still got some for later.
Yeah, cool. Kat?
Okie dokie. Right, okay, thanks, Howard, for that. Right, I think you hit the nail on the head when you started and you said the problem is a psychological problem, and it is a psychological problem. I think you've ticked a lot of boxes there that a lot of globe deniers, globe skeptics, whatever you want to call yourselves, have. And that is essentially, they just like to say, gravity is only a theory. Evolution is only a theory. We have no evidence for this. We have no evidence for that. But I'm willing to bet that if I asked you now how many scientific papers you've written, and how many scientific papers you've read, and if I was to ask you what was wrong with those scientific papers, the answer would be you haven't read any scientific papers, and you can't tell me what's wrong with them because you haven't looked at the. Now you can tell me if you have after this 8 minutes. You can name the scientific papers you've read, and you can name what's wrong with them. But I'm willing to bet that you just haven't read any of them at all, and yet you're claiming there's no evidence. That's like me not even opening the fridge and complaining to the wife there's no food in. You know, that's exactly how I see people who are globe skeptics or evolution deniers. It's a refusal to look. I think also we mix in with that the fact that there is a lack of ability to understand some of the concepts. And when for example, a globe denier wants to talk about the atmosphere, when they want to talk about trigonometry and how Polaris destroys any notion of a flat Earth, and is very, very strong evidence for a globe, the flat earther will lack the basic skills of trigonometry. And we can, you can maybe walk me through trigonometry when we're done and show me how trigonometry works. And you can tell me when I present you that evidence of trigonometry, why that isn't evidence for the globe. So I'd look forward to that. That might be when we start the back and forth. I'll give you some time to think about it. Your chance to destroy how Polaris is evidence. You can tell me what's wrong with the trigonometry. So I'll give you that opportunity for that. But for now, just to show you how ridiculous the whole notion is that the Earth isn't a globe, can I share my screen, Creaky?
Yeah, share away.
So if I share here's just some things that are completely unimaginably unexplainable on any shape of the Earth that isn't a globe, without the explanations contradicting each other. For example, we can explain the sunsets, the sunrise, the seasons, celestial poles, Jupiter's moons, and obviously that works in with, we use that to model and test our predictions about gravity. We can use the retrograde motion of planets, solar eclipses, lunar eclipses, tides, all of the things that are on here, all of them. I have never, ever seen a single explanation of how any of these are actually possible on a planet that isn't a globe, ever. And when somebody's tried to give me one, they clearly all contradict each other. Right? So maybe I should make that a little bit clearer. I've never seen somebody try and give me two explanations for two of these things that don't immediately contradict each other. It's not out there. All right. It is just not there. So if you're a globe skeptic and you want to provide an alternative for the globe, then you're going to have to look at all these things and you're going to have to say to yourself, okay, what shape of an Earth other than a globe might a sunrise work on? And you might come up with 10, 15, 20 different shapes. And then you're going to have to ask yourself, how compatible is that with the seasons? How compatible is that with the celestial poles? How compatible is that with the eclipses and the tides? And what you'll find is that as you're going through this, you'll realize that they're not compatible. The only one that's compatible with all of them is the globe. All right. But what I've never, ever, ever seen is a globe denier, or globe skeptic or flat earther, ever do any of the serious hard work and do the maths on any of these. Anybody actually produce a scientific explanation on any of these, because they don't have this, they're not equipped with the skills to do it. What they're equipped with is a mindset that they just want to say, oh, a theory is just a theory, which again, we'll get into later on, because obviously you don't know what a scientific theory is. They just grip with the mindset that there's no evidence and a theory is just a theory and that's it. But the reality is, you are not opening that fridge and looking for that food, right? You are not looking for yourself. You're expecting people, and you've highlighted that in this debate tonight. You've come on here and said to me, you want me to give you loads of evidence, almost as if I've got to come and convince you of things you could have gone and looked for yourself. So when we do start the back, and I don't really think I've got much more to say because I didn't plan an opening on this, but I think the one thing I'm going to be looking for as we're having this debate tonight is asking you, when we get onto whatever topic, what research have you done on that topic and why is it not good enough? And I've got a feeling, I'm going to make a prediction, that you haven't done the research on it. You haven't read the papers. You don't understand the simple things like geometry and trigonometry. I have a feeling that that's what's going to come out of it. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you'll be able to tell me why, for example, trigonometry and Polaris isn't very strong evidence for a globe. Maybe you've got an understanding of trigonometry. I guess we're going to find out. I think that's my opening done.
I don't know which way you want to do it now, Kat and Howard, obviously, because we are running a little bit behind, whether you just want to get straight into the back and forth and I'll just sit on the sidelines and moderate.
I think the thing is, like I said, I'm happy with that, mate. I think the thing is, like I said to Howard before, just as long as we aren't interrupting each other, we don't need to be doing alternate times. So Howard, I'll let you start and then I'll just answer whatever you've got to say. Go on, mate.
So everything I said went right over your head.
So, no, everything you said to me is stuff that I've heard a million times before from people who cannot articulate any sort of geometry, any sort of science, any sort of understanding. So you asked me for evidence. So let's do this now. Creaky, can I screen share again? I did say I'd do this.
Before you do.
Okay.
You see, it all went over your head because my whole point is this isn't about me. This isn't about my understanding or my lack of understanding. This is about evidence. And I've shared loads on my Facebook, on my YouTube, on all the platforms, Instagram. I've shared all my primary observations and I've been offering money on national Spanish television. 10,000 euros. Did you hear about it?
I didn't know.
Guess what, guys? Well, that's the censorship you see we're facing. Weird one, but that's another topic. Even when you offer 10,000 euros, people still can't just go and make the observations and compare evidence. They want to natter about who understands what a scientific theory is and what your understanding of trigonometry is. And please, I don't care if you're more academically qualified or more intelligent than me. I'm open-minded and I'm questioning what I'm being told. I've done a primary observation from Benidorm to Alicante, and I can see the buildings from top to bottom. I've done an observation from Denia to the island of Ibiza, and I can see the island of Ibiza, and I can see Krabi from Phuket and Phuket from Krabi in Thailand, and I can see Isle of Man from Blackpool. That's the evidence. Stop judging me with your little arguments about my character or my lack of understanding, and address the evidence. What have you got?
Well, first of all, you haven't shown me any evidence. You've come here and you've said you've got these fantastic flat Earth proving observations, but you've not brought any. So it's very difficult for me to debunk something that you've not got in front of me to show me. Hang on. Wait, remember, we don't interrupt here, mate. I won't interrupt you. And, okay, so it's very, very difficult for me to debunk the evidence that you haven't brought. Does that make sense? How can I possibly debunk your evidence that you haven't given me?
It went right over your head again. Did you not hear what I said? You can find all of my evidence on my YouTube, my Facebook, right. Howard George Stirrup. Check me out. It's my name. And you can see my primary observations. Try to. The point of this,
but George, Howard, sorry. The point of this is it's a debate, isn't it? So we come to the debate and we bring our evidence to the debate, and then we debate the evidence. Like I've never met someone before who I've come to debate. I've brought my evidence and my PowerPoints, willing to talk about it, and the opponent has just said, "Oh, I'm not bringing any evidence." But if you want to nip over to my YouTube page, it's all there, which is what you're doing. You've either brought evidence to the debate or you haven't. So 30 seconds. So I guess what I'm asking is, have you actually brought any evidence to this debate for anything? Brilliant. Right. Do you want to show it? Do you want to show it? Brilliant.
If you let me. It's called common sense, reasoning, and I'm thinking in Spanish. Comparison. Let's compare evidence. I've told you where you can find mine. And guess what? I'm not asking you to believe my evidence, because I've realized all these people that are thinking that Earth might be flat, they're great. They're doing the investigation. They're doing the primary observations. But guess what? They're all obsessed that maybe these people need to see a further distance. No, you've seen enough. Stop acting like you need to see my evidence. I've told you where it is. I'm not asking you to believe something that you don't see. We all see the horizon at eye level when we go up on an aeroplane, or if you jump out a parachute like I did. You can all see the horizon is level. You can all see things over water along the coast. I'm not asking you to believe in anything. I'm telling you that what you can see is correct. You're the ones that are telling me I should believe something. So you're the ones that should show me something that is different to what I'm looking at. I don't need to show you what you can see. You can see for yourself if you've got the mind.
And what I see are two things. I see that you've brought no evidence. Right, so we'll establish that. I've got a couple of points I'll answer, but we'll establish that you've brought zero evidence to the debate that we are both meant to bring evidence to. You've brought zero. And you're telling me that it's somewhere else, but you're not going to show it me. You're not going to bring it. You're not going to show it me, but it's brilliant, right? It's absolutely brilliant evidence that I really need to see, but you're not going to bring it. Fine. The second thing I'll just let us finish and I'll come back to you.
1 minute video. So
that's fine. That's fine. But remember, we don't interrupt. Remember, we don't interrupt. Okay. Has he been muted, Creaky?
Yeah, he's muted.
Yeah, he's muted. So, Howard, I will never interrupt you, but you've just been muted over that. Like, I will let you finish every single time if you just let me finish every single time. Because honestly, this isn't like Nathan Oakley's show where people scream and shout and get angry with each other. Like, we might disagree and it might get heated, but we will allow each other time to speak. Yeah? Are you happy with that? I will never interrupt you. Yeah?
I'll quite happily move as well.
If you lie, I'm going to interrupt. See, I don't lie, so you have no right to interrupt me. I'm not lying.
Well, Howard, this is how adults do it. I'll be honest. We've started a debate, and you've brought no evidence to the debate. Howard, if you can't, I'm going to be absolutely honest now. If you can't do the debate without interrupting, and if you're going to be the judge, if you think you can be the judge of who's lying and just interrupt when you want, then you may as well just leave. Like, seriously, this is an adult thing. You may as well just leave if that's how you're going to behave. I can't hear it. So we'll try this again. But what we can do is we can switch to me having 3 minutes to talk and you having 3 minutes. But I'm not entertaining kids. You can leave. Bye then, dickhead. Bye. All right. So there we go. That was good. What an absolute prick. Anyway,
it was clear to me right from the off. He had a face like thunder. Ooh. Right, let's have an argument, Kat. But I've got nothing to argue with you about. So let's get going now. Let's start arguing. I got nothing I want to argue with you about. I've got no point to make or any evidence to prove the point I haven't got to make.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like it was such a ridiculous stance. But he came in with a face like a slapped arse when we were off air. He didn't want to talk. I thought he was going to be a bit odd. But at the end of the day, you can't sit there and expect to be the judge and jury of the debate. You present your evidence, somebody else presents evidence, the viewers decide. You just don't jump in and interrupt somebody else and say, I've decided what you're saying is a lie, therefore I get to interrupt you. You know what I mean? So that's not what this show's about. And I know that's cut the debate short, but...
At the end of the day, Kat, would it even have been a debate? I seriously doubt it, because like you say, the idea of a debate is you have your stance, he has his stance. You put forward the evidence for your stance, he puts forward the evidence for his stance.
That's it. You know what I mean? That's what a debate is. And I think the mindset of a lot of people, like, they struggle in that environment, and they struggle to do that because, like I said, he can't what he said at the very beginning is he doesn't have the evidence to bring. I'm not bringing evidence. You know, it's all right for him to say I've got a load on my channel, but he can't articulate.
Did I ever mention that I've got a knob like a baby's arm holding an orange? I'm never going to show anyone, but it's huge. You won't believe me, surely. Surely.
My word.
I don't know. Oh well. What should we do now then?
Well, I don't know. I was going to bust out. I was going to bust out the old Polaris and the trigonometry and get him to tell us why the trigonometry was wrong. But you know, at the end of the day, he clearly doesn't want to listen. He just wants to speak. I was, you know, we are here firmly ready to listen to anyone who wants to come on and respond. He just, you know, he doesn't want to listen, and he'll be stuck in that mindset now.
And anyway, now he's gone. I have made a mistake anyway. I can't show any of the comments on the screen because even though we're live on YouTube, I forgot to change the privacy settings in StreamYard, so it's still private. So I can't put any of the comments on screen, and I didn't know how to figure out how to do it. You could see straight away, like you say, when we let him in, he had a face like a slapped ass. And it was just never going anywhere, was it? One thing I can show on screen, and I don't know if you were aware of this, Katz, but at the moment, until December the 31st, YouTube are offering free channel membership to any channel of your choosing, provided you are a YouTube Premium user, and you have to reside, and I found this a bit strange the first time, America, the UK, Brazil, Japan, or... there's one other, but it is down in the description. So if you do fancy becoming a channel member and supporting us that way, you can do it up until the 31st of January at zero cost to yourself. So if you can support us, maybe I'll show you my giant baby's arm holding an apple.
The one of which there's no evidence for, but you've got it. You've got the
I've got it. Why do you think I walk funny?
Oh, my word.
Yeah, that's a shame, really, because I was looking forward to a flat Earth debate because, you know, if you look at the number of people that are in here now, you know, there's 254. That's quite a high number for our channel, isn't it?
254. I haven't got the thing on screen because I've got one screen with me PowerPoint resources on to share, so I haven't got the debate open for once. Usually I do, so that's not bad. So, well, I'm sorry, 250 odd people, but. You know, he was given a chance. I don't think you've got anything to be sorry for, Katz. It's you weren't the one who was not prepared for it, were you? No, he was definitely not prepared for that.
He was as unprepared as Kent Hovind, who he name dropped.
Oh, he did. He's obviously listened to that.
Yeah.
Well, what can you say?
Anyway, while we're scrambling around trying to decide what to do with the rest of the stream.
Ooh, super chat.
We've had a couple of super chats come in. I just got you hung up on Harold. No, we didn't hang up on anybody. He decided that, he decided that he was not really able to understand what a debate was, as far as I could see, and that's why he decided to duck out. And of course, we have
super chat. Thank you.
Christopher Shapley, DVM CVA, everybody's favorite American veterinarian, has given us $5 and said the first rage quit for Agree to Disagree.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a milestone, actually, Cats, isn't it?
We're not used to that stuff round here, are we?
No, I know. We only have nice people on here. Dave Vinci has become a channel member. Thank you, Dave. Another super chat off
Thank you.
Harry Stafford. Good job. Good job. Good job, Darth Cats. And Dr.
like that.
Titus has become a channel member as well. Thank you, guys. We do appreciate the support. So, you going to give us a song then, Cats, or are we going to...
I can do. I'll serenade you if you want.
Yeah, good. But, yeah, I'm a bit taken aback now. I don't really know where to take it. Anybody in the side chat fancy coming on and I don't know, showing us your party trick or doing something?
Is there a flag other perhaps in the chat that actually can hold a proper civil conversation without wanting to interrupt and throw a tantrum? But I think it's important we did that, Creaky. And I know I do apologise to everyone in the chat for the fact that they've been robbed of that debate. But we've got to draw a line in the sand, and we can't have the channel where people just end up screaming and shouting over each other. That's not what this is about. So, it's the first time it's happened, but hopefully that'll put a message out that if you come here, you're going to get a civil debate or nothing.
Super chat.
Another super chat of JF Gamby. Hi guys, I was looking forward to this one, and it's like coitus interruptus we got. Sadly it is, yeah. And thank you to Keith Milner for becoming a channel member as well. Much appreciated. I don't know what to say. I was really expecting a good debate because I know how good you are in a flat earth debate, and he was quite courteous in all the emails.
See, that's it. He was, and I'll tell you what. Go on.
I'm fairly sure that he emailed us first.
I'm just checking now because I'm positive he did.
I may be wrong.
There was a gap between him emailing us and let me just get this. There was a gap between him emailing us and a reply, but he did definitely email us first.
Yeah.
In fact, let's have a look. Okay, I'll tell you when he emailed us. It was Monday, the 12th of October, saying, "Hello, I was informed that you will be interested in hosting a debate between me and Conspiracy Cats. Please let me know how you would like to proceed. Thanks." And then we replied. So he did email us first. He did email to try and set this debate up. I didn't want to call him out on that at the beginning of the debate because it's not important, but he did email us first. So, and then he screwed it up.
Yeah, exactly. Is the side chat getting a lot of buffering? I don't know what's going on, but I'm getting an awful lot of buffering on my feed. It seems fine, and nobody's complained about it. So I don't know if I'm just having some sort of computer issue or what's going on. But let me know in the side chat if you are having. No, all good there. I don't know what it is, and it's buffering now. But there we go. Leo Filius is in the side chat.
Oh, hey, Leo Filius. How are you doing, my friend? Good to see him again. If you haven't subscribed to his channel, again, well worth a subscribe as well.
And
super chat. Thank you.
I didn't find out what kind. I was gutted from Luke Mitchell. Thank you for the super chat, Luke.
Brilliant. Thank you. So I'm going to have to get the chat up in a minute and have a look. So yeah, that's quite stunning. We do have a debate tomorrow night. However, for anyone who's watching, we have a debate on free speech, and it's going to be later than our normal time to accommodate the time zones of the two guests, and it's going to be at 10 p.m. tomorrow night. That's all I can tell you. I'll be hosting that, so expect 1,000,001 technological errors from me. But we do have a debate tomorrow night. So
yeah, there's only been a flat million from me tonight. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my computer, but it's really misbehaving.
It's
really misbehaving. I have no idea. As long as it's fine to the audience, it's it doesn't really make a lot of difference. But I don't know. I'm just all about breaking stuff. I'm just all about breaking stuff.
Oh. Okay, well, should we ask
know.
the chat's opinion? Should we ask the chat's opinion on how we handle that? Was that did we handle that right? Should we let him interrupt? What do you think? Should we see what they? Or do,
Yeah,
I'm
I
happy
don't know.
we did that right.
Yeah, I know how I feel about it. I think Curtis Fowler's asking, can you explain gravity as a fictitious force in the framework of relativity?
As in the framework of relativity? Oh God, that's a hell of a question, isn't it? No, I can explain what we mean by a fictitious force, but like essentially, my understanding of this whole like Einstein. Go on, mate, go on.
But that's a perfect illustration of the difference between us globetards and globe skeptics. If somebody asks you a question and you don't know the answer, you do what you just did. Said, I haven't got a Scooby-Doo. But
No, I don't.
A flat earther will try and embellish it and skirt around the houses and give an answer that ends up having absolutely nothing to do with the question that was asked.
Absolutely.
Like coming to a debate with no argument or evidence.
Which I will answer it as best as I can, but it's not like within the framework of the question he asked. I'm not sure, but essentially anything that causes an acceleration. If Newton's second law, force equals mass times acceleration. Yeah, if an object has an acceleration, it experiences a force. But there are different ways forces can manifest. So, I mean, I only teach physics up to A level, but we'll look at the different types of bosons that are responsible for the electromagnetism and the strong nuclear force and the weak nuclear force, etc. And the current consensus is gravity doesn't work in that way. So whether when he's using the term kind of like pseudo force for that, I mean, it works in a slightly different way, but ultimately it produces an acceleration on a mass. So as far as we're concerned here, we can call it a force quite happily, but I'm not going to pretend to know the mechanics of how gravity works. I hope I've answered that question. I don't know. Maybe we need Professor Dave explains for that.
Theophilus has just explained it.
Oh, is it? What's he said?
Curvature in the geometry of space-time by the presence of mass energy. It's not a force in the sense of interaction. It's a force in the sense of objects following curves. Yeah,
so it doesn't use, like, in terms of the interaction between particles and bosons, etc. It doesn't use that mechanism. It uses a different one. So yeah, I think Leo's backed me up on that one. I think. Thanks, Leo. The dude, he's a clever guy. So I'll tell you what I watched last. Go on.
No. I was just gonna name check a few people that have just turned up to a debate that is already over. Mr. Andrat has just turned up saying, afternoon, I'm afraid that Katz's opponent, he basically threw all his toys out of the pram and left. Yeah. Essentially. But what can you do?
I think what he expected was to be able to come here and then every time somebody spoke to interrupt and try and win the debate through trying to assert some kind of like aggro or just say that's not good enough for me. You're like, I think that was his tactic. His tactic wasn't to come and actually argue anything with any kind of articulation. It was just to say no, you're wrong, and I'm going to shout louder than you. But obviously that's not a debate, and we don't do that here.
Yeah, it was just a perfect example of every other flat Earth argument, though, wasn't it? I know the Earth is flat. I can't show you it's flat. I can't offer any scientific explanation as to why it's flat or how what we see in our daily life supports it being flat. I just know, and that's the entirety of their argument, from my understanding, anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? We can pin comments to the top of the chat now. So anyone new, we can actually pin a comment saying that the flat Earther rage quit. For anyone coming in.
Oh yes, we can too. That must be a new feature, like the new features in our swanky new streaming software that I forgot.
Yeah, I'm very impressed.
It would have been even more impressive if I could have done what it was meant to do. But I'll just pin to become a channel member for free. Everybody likes free stuff. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, there we go. So is that? I'm going to see if I can get the chat up. How many have we got in the debate? Unfortunately, 243.
Very disappointed people. Dildo Baggins says, "Damn, I missed it." Yes, you did. He rage quit, I'm afraid, Mr. Baggins. Or was it Dildo because we're friends?
Oh my
I'm surprised he's not in the side chat, if I'm being honest.
He very possibly is, isn't he? But
I wonder.
under some sort of soccer account or watching it. But
Yeah.
if you're right, it was a poor performance. But I think that highlights actually what I was trying to say in the opening of my thing, that the flat earthers are very good at saying there's no evidence. But actually when challenged on have you actually looked, you're not going to get an answer. And I think he knew from the very beginning that I was going to challenge him on what have you looked at. What, I made it very clear when we start talking, I'm going to ask you, what scientific papers have you read and why is that not good enough evidence? Can you explain to me why that's wrong evidence? Can you explain to me why trigonometry isn't good enough evidence? And I think he obviously didn't want to do that. So he had an early bath.
I read something yesterday when I was making my video, and I think I included it in the video because it just stood out to me, and it was somebody said that it was something along the lines of flat earthers have got an incredibly low standard for the evidence that they will accept. So evident what they consider to be evidence of a flat Earth, but they've got an unrealistically high standard for the evidence that proves them wrong. Is essentially what it was. So if they think it can be slightly twisted to demonstrate a flat Earth, doesn't matter if it's a sock hanging on a lamppost, that proves flat Earth. But you can provide them with the most comprehensive observations, experiments that disprove the flat Earth, and oh no, that's not good enough. Yeah, that's not good enough.
Well, I actually watched one of George's videos today. It wasn't a flat Earth one. It was actually it was Radical, the Unhallowed Knights video, and he'd commented on one of George's, or Howard's, what it was called, and where Howard wanted to say that the moon give off cold light, and he'd done this experiment, and like you just said, that it was the most piss poor experiment I've ever seen in my entire life, and I was hoping he was going to bring that up. Because, yes, it's okay for him to say, I've done my own observations, I've done my own experiments, but actually he needs to sit and critically evaluate what his experiments are. That one he did on the moonlight, he was literally using baking trays almost, reflective baking trays of different colours in different environments. You know, it was just incredibly poor. I just,
no control,
I don't know.
Then. No control, you know, to make sure that... Because the best one I've seen is Greater Sapien. Because he did that experiment. Have you seen that video?
I've heard that he did it very well, but I've not seen it.
He did do it very, very well. There was control. He did it on a night with. It's a long time since I thought he did it on a night with a full moon. He did it on a night where there was no moonlight visible because of cloud coverage. And he just showed it for what it is. It's just shaded areas take longer to cool down because that's all it is.
Yeah, well, it is. I mean, like you've got a couple of factors. You've got, if it's a shaded area, then also you've got less air movement. It's obviously not because whatever's providing the shade is restricting air movement. So the air is not going to be as free flowing and moving. So there's going to be a different temperature gradient slightly between the air and the object. You know, you've also got the reflection of the heat emitted by whatever's causing the shade off the object. And it's just things in the shade just do take longer to cool down. There's a whole load of factors. Yeah. But he was using different materials with different heat capacities and emissivities. And also it was an embarrassment to watch. I was really hoping that was going to be one of the videos he brought up. But but he
Cat Ranty is in the side chat and he's saying, can you ask Conspiracy Cast to tell us what an inferior mirage is, please? Cheers.
Oh, hello, Ranty. And I've got something to mention towards the end of this, what isn't a debate now, but I'll mention something involving Ranty at the end of the debate, so I'm not driving anyone away from here. But, yes, I can explain what an inferior mirage is. Would you like to see my PowerPoint? Should I get it up and use the PowerPoint? I'll whip it out. Just let me find the slide for you. It's going to take me a second because I put the PowerPoint away, so let me just find where I have it. And I'll get back to you in a couple of minutes. So
I'm gonna leave and come back in, right? Kind
okay,
of.
mate.
So I can see if I can get the comments to come on.
All right, mate. That means I'm going to be all on my own here, and I'm going to be
Yeah.
in trouble. Okay, I've got that. Yeah, I've got my PowerPoints. So where find my Mirage? Right. Oh God, I forget. I'm live, aren't I now? Creaky's gone. Are you back, Creaky?
Yeah, I'm back. I'm hoping
right.
that'll be the fix.
So let me show Ranty
crap.
about the inferior.
Anyway, yeah, sorry.
It's not
I'll
working.
give you the
Sorry.
screen. I'll give you the.
I'll screenshot that. So this is obviously going to be the formation of an inferior mirage. Obviously, when light is traveling through the air, if depending on where the hotter is and where the colder is, the light is either going to bend or refract or change direction towards or away from the normal in quite a predictive manner. This is a nice little diagram here, which means that we're seeing things that should be in the sky. Right, for example, here we're seeing things that should be in the sky a little bit lower down. And if I show some pictures of that, I'm not going to do a whole lecture on it. But this was my PowerPoint. This is what I prepared for old Howard. Who?
Hang on, you mean you brought evidence to a debate?
I brought evidence to a debate. Yeah, this is everyone's getting to see my stuff now. And there we go. So this would be an example. I did this for the Plain Truths. Because the Plain Truth talks about mirages, etc., and things going over the ocean. Well, if we're looking at an inferior mirage, we've got the sky that's reflecting in the bottom, and we get this sort of effect of like an absence of sea or an absence of land, and things sort of disappearing in a very non-defined manner. So this is a very non-defined horizon. This is a very weird looking horizon because we're seeing the sky. Here again, it's a very non-defined horizon that we're seeing the sky. But what we don't get with an inferior mirage, oh man, where am I going to have to go? What we don't get, and I put this to Travis, what we don't ever get with an inferior mirage is tell me I've got the picture. Oh, if I haven't got the picture, I'm going to cry. I'm going to find it.
I just want to see the flying boat again.
Well, I mean, if we look at this one, this is right. I'm not. This was sort of like Ranty's picture, but the thing is, if there was a mirage sort of here that was somehow hiding the boat, it would be something that, if it was an inferior mirage, it would be the sky that we'd be seeing, kind of here, just like it would be on what we've seen with the other things. But this is quite a defined line, again here, and you know, when we look at sort of like the lighthouse again, it doesn't look anything like an inferior mirage. It looks just like that's the water there. This isn't. If you look how crisp and clean and defined that line is, and then we go back to what we actually know an inferior mirage is and how they work, which is something like this, you know, or this. They clearly are very different things. So that would be my sort of argument against boats disappearing because of an inferior mirage. They just don't look like an inferior mirage. They look like something completely different. But anyway, I'll stop screen sharing now.
Mega. Right, we've had some more super chats come in.
Ooh, super chat. Thank
Oh,
you.
but before we talk about that super chat, Mass Debater has become a channel member. Excellent. Thank you, sir.
Is he trying to challenge Craven Mordick for the best YouTube username?
Yeah, we haven't seen Craven Mordick for a while.
I don't know. My memory is pretty poor.
We've had a super chat of Rib Tickler. Love both of you. He always does that on other shows. So he basically rage quits everywhere he goes. I think he's talking about Howard.
Oh, that's his shtick, is it?
That's his MO, yeah.
Ooh,
Another super chat from Macabre Malfisha. FTFE's chat named him Harold. Keep it going. JL Warren has super chatted. Creaky Conspiracy Cats and Creaky Blinder. Hope you were well. All the best for the holidays, gents. We don't get holidays yet. We don't get Thanksgiving.
We don't, do we?
No.
We don't. But we do get Teacher Inset Day for a lot of schools, which gives me a day off.
Yeah. I tell you what, there's a massive delay on my screen. because you've just gone on the screen on your own and you haven't even started showing your. Oh no, hang on. Don't worry, just ignore that. Can you tell Conspiracy Cats that he did not show an inferior mirage? Laughing till you cry emoji, and that explains why he has never gotten the point.
Well, I think what's the term? We'll agree to disagree on that one. Is the term, is it? We'll agree to disagree. But yeah. So now your inferior mirage stream slide is coming up on my screen. So I don't know if that means that. Oh, I don't know what it means. I don't think at this point it really matters too much to say it. Unless if you accidentally wound back the stream on yours, if you accidentally click back a few seconds on yours, and then you're actually not watching it live. I've
only got the live studio open. I don't have the stream itself open. I'm going to close it down altogether and reopen the Tinternet and see if that makes any difference, because I don't know what the hell I've done, if I'm being honest, guys. It's all going horribly wrong.
I've just seen Andy P say Cats and Creaky like to vape. This is actually a whiteboard marker, not a vape, but I do like to chew on it. So I thing is, like, get nervous in front of a lot of people on the internet, Creaky. That's what it is, and I need to.
Same here.
Need to do that. I'm not used to speaking in front of large groups of people.
Exactly, I'm constantly terrified.
I'll tell you what I saw yesterday. Sorry, I'll tell you what I saw yesterday. I've not seen for ages that I really thoroughly enjoyed. The original Westworld film. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I don't know if you've ever seen it. Never seen it?
I've never seen it, no.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. So that conversation's not going anywhere. I don't know why I started that, but... Random fact of the day.
Yeah, random fact of the day. Who's watching Mandalorian then?
I'm only one episode in. Is it good? I've seen the first episode.
Are you on season 1 or season 2?
Season 1, episode 1.
Watch it faster. Watch it faster. It's absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. I know a lot of people, the Star Wars purists amongst us, are a bit skeptical of, the fact that Star Wars is now part of Disney and this, that, and the other. But I've loved everything. The only one I wasn't keen on was Rogue One. That was the only one I couldn't really see where it fitted into the Star Wars. I don't know if you want to call it the Star Wars universe or... Luke Mitchell says, can't believe he died at the end. Don't worry, that means I tell you what, and I discussed this in my live stream on Sunday, but I'm going to discuss it again for all the people that weren't there. Obviously, without giving any spoilers, you're aware of Baby Yoda, Cats, yeah?
He appeared at the very end of the episode I've just seen. Was that episode 1?
Yeah, the whole thing is basically about indirectly based around Baby Yoda, except he isn't Baby Yoda. And that's not a spoiler. Maybe
the timeline doesn't fit for him to be Yoda, does it? The timeline doesn't work.
Exactly. That's what I said in my streamer. He's actually Grogu, which you don't find out until episode 5 of... Damn. Catch up. But yeah, I just... Everyone was calling him Baby Yoda. It was like, oh, so this happened hundreds of years before, even A New Hope, the very first Star Wars film. But no, apparently it happens after Return of the Jedi for all the Star Wars nerds in the side chat.
Yeah, in that period.
Star Wars nerd, yeah?
Yeah, it's in that period as the first, or it's what I've read, because obviously I've not seen it, but that period where the First Order starts to be, it's supposed to tell that story in the long run, isn't it?
Yeah. But it's really, it's well worth catching up on.
I've just seen a question directed to me from Adrian Clark. Please answer my question. What do you think about SpaceX plans for dome homes and nuking the poles? I'm going to be absolutely honest. I haven't heard of either of those. Does he mean like dome homes eventually on Mars one day? Is that what you mean? Because or like, is that some kind of eco-friendly thing they're looking to do here? And nuking the poles, I'm going to have to Google that. That sounds like something I'm going to... Have you heard about that, Creaky?
No, I've not. The last I heard about domes was the Barnabas Nagy video I did last week, where he was talking about rainbows prove that we've all cities have small individual domes over them.
Yeah. Well, Well, there we go. I'm going to find out about that. The Rich News, Yul Brynner, yeah, he was an excellent casting choice for Westworld. He was superb. I've not seen the new one. Is it on Netflix or Amazon? I've not seen that.
He must be about 140 years old by now.
Oh, the film was made before I was born. Like it was.
Right.
Yeah, it's an old. That's when it's like the original one. It was really good.
Right. So I was going to say then, geez, it can't be anything new. He must be a pile of dust by now, surely.
Yeah, he's. He must because he must have been in his 40s or 50s when that was filmed, and say that was well before I was born. So being only 21, you know.
I am a bit disappointed, if I'm being honest, because from everything I'd seen about Howard, I was getting the feeling that he was a real. I know he said he wasn't a conspiracy theorist, but he clearly is. That you can't trust the man, and they are all controlled by the Illuminati. And I was hoping he'd notice my swanky new Illuminati tattoo, but it hasn't triggered anyone yet.
It will. Russian Vids will be making a video on you. He likes to talk about tattoos.
Yeah. Do you know who we should reach out to try and get on here, because I think it will be fun, is Flat Earth Jesus, Ross. Don't ask me why, but I've got this thing I just like him, and I can't figure out why. It's got to the point now where we don't even insult each other anymore. He commented on yesterday, and he actually said, can he come on my live stream? He said, because I think you are nuts. You clearly think I'm nuts. Let's talk about it on a live stream. And I just think it would be, like I've said, I would never debate the flat earther because I haven't got the scientific arsenal that you've got and that FTFE's got. But I think I'd speak to Ross because I don't know. I've just got this feeling that it would be fun and that he wouldn't rage as long as we could get him on sober. Obviously, and with him being in Australia, you know, I don't know how it would work, but I don't know, maybe worth thinking about for the future.
The fact is, you know, everybody's a person, isn't it? Everyone's got their own personal characteristics, and that's what's most important. You know, like Howard tonight, absolutely. You know, through his emails, and which he did initiate, despite him claiming he didn't. With the emails that he sent to get on the show, he was ultra polite. He was ultra friendly. He was, you know, he was great. He gave a really, really good impression of himself via email. You know, but he didn't live up to it.
Luke Mitchell just asked you a question in the side chat, Kat, and I'll let you address it.
Let's have a look. Why is this? Oh God, I am so behind on the chat. Nut stuff aside, I really want SpaceX do in regard to the Starship testing for further explanation. See, I need to look at all of this because I just haven't looked at it. I just haven't looked at it, but I do need to look at it. I think SpaceX are brilliant in the fact that they're obviously providing a useful service as a private company, which is brilliant. And hopefully there'll be other companies like Virgin Galactic and stuff like that that will be doing the space travel privately. And I think that will be a big nail in the coffin for Flat Earth when all sorts of private, non-government funded industries are contributing and are sending things up there. I think it's great. But yeah, I haven't really looked into much what they're doing lately.
I don't know what's going on with my side chat, right, Cass? But the question I meant was right at the bottom, so it should have been the first. I've just WhatsApped it to you. I really have no idea what the hell's going on. I really don't.
That's because I read out a different question. I read out Adrian Clark's question, not Luke's.
Oh, right. I
just looked at the one that had tagged me in. I can't see Luke's. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, yeah, right. You agree to disagree.
Are you really podcasting with Ranty? Who should Creaky pod with? The answer is yes, but we'll talk about what I don't want to do is drive people away from the stream here tonight. I will absolutely, in the last 10 minutes of tonight's show, fill everybody in with that. But I don't want to drive anybody away now while we've got this stream on. I think that's fair, but we'll definitely talk about it at the end and how that come about and what the show's all about. And they said, who should Creaky? Who would you? Would it be?
No, funny enough, obviously, some people will know, some people won't. I started doing a podcast, and it's on Spotify now. It's called Creaky Cast, because I'm crap at coming up with imaginative names. And I do want to go back to it. And the reason I'm choosing not to at the moment is because I don't want everybody going, oh, Simon Dan's doing a podcast, so now Creaky is as well. Because the number of people, I'm sure people think that I'm like Simon Dan's, like, boyfriend or something. It's just when I put his name in the title, I get loads of views. Sue me. I always ask him first. I don't just use his name willy-nilly. But I do want to go back to doing, because, you know, as much fun as I have on my Sunday live streams, it's always nice to have somebody on with you to chat to, because it makes it a damn sight easier to fill 2 hours, because it's hard to talk for two. I know I'd make it look easy and I never shut up, but it's not the easiest thing in the world to talk for 2 hours and try to eliminate as much dead air as you possibly can without waffling on and talking shit. But that's what people know me for, so.
Yeah, no, I think you're good at it, mate. I think you're good. Like Mr. Sensible does the same thing. You just fire up and you can talk for a couple of hours. I'd run out of things to say really quickly. That's why I never just fire up and live stream, because I wouldn't know what I'm saying. It's nice to have someone to chat to and bounce off with. I quite enjoy that.
Exactly. I do enjoy going live, though. The reason I wanted to try live streaming, and it just became what it is now. It's just, I think it's one of the, so I get people asking me questions all the time, you know, things like, you know, what you do for a living, what is that, what you're like in real life, and, you know, what shampoo do you use, that kind of thing. And it's, I think if somebody watch my live streams get really poor views in comparison to my videos. I'm always on between 200 and 300 live viewers, but they peter out then. The views never get much above 3,000, which is like 2 hours worth of views after I release a video. But I've said to people on the live streams, if you really, you know, you're not just being a nosy get, if you actually want to know a bit more what I'm actually like, watch my live streams, because you can't play a character continuously. And, you know, the way I am in my live streams is a bit more me rather than the creaky blinder, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I definitely want to get back to it, because I enjoy chatting to people and interrupting them and not letting them get a word in edgeways. I'm going to mute myself now, cats. Go for it.
I was just agreeing. I was going to say yes. No, you're right though. But also, I think everyone's like that. The videos I make, you know, I'm quite a sarcastic kind of like character on the conspiracy cats, but less so on the baldy cats. But it is it's maybe a part of my personality, but it's an extreme part. It's not, you know, this is more what I'm like. You know, I'm a real boring old get, to be honest, who's got that side in me. And it's good for people to see, you know, what you really, really. Otherwise, people get a distorted view of you, don't they?
Yeah, and I think that's how, because obviously, you know, I've said before that, let's say for argument's sake now, and this could happen to either one of us, you get an email tonight off PewDiePie, the biggest YouTuber on the platform, 108 million subscribers, and he said, "Oh, Cats, I'd love you to be in one of my videos." There's no guarantee that you're going to you would pick up a lot of subscribers. I'm not saying you wouldn't pick up any, but there's no guarantee that those people are going to continue to watch you, because subscribers that don't watch are empty subscribers and they make no difference. The subscriber number, whilst it's nice for your, I don't know, could you say it's a good way to stroke your own ego or make you feel, look how many people like what I do. But if they aren't all watching, it doesn't mean that much. So what I mean is, it doesn't matter how big a channel you collaborate with or are a guest on or whatever it may be. If those people don't have some sort of connection with you as a person, if they don't like you, to put it in its simplest terms, they're just not going to watch.
No. And I've seen that for, like, there've been people I know, and I'm certainly not going to mention any channels, but there've been people I know a long time ago, I don't do it anymore, who have channels in very different areas to mine that I've shouted out and I've pushed in a couple of videos and tweets, and I've seen them gain over a couple of a couple of weeks or a month, like 4,000 or 5,000, 6,000 subscribers over a period of time, and they've grown from maybe like 300.
Yeah.
But then actually, when you look at the views they're getting now, the views are what you would get if you had 100 subscribers. And think, well, how much has that damaged the channel? How much is having all those subscribers that never click on your video? Is that good for the algorithm? For the algorithm to think even your own subscribers aren't interested in what you're doing?
Yeah, exactly.
So
exactly.
yeah, I think you've got to be careful.
I speak to a YouTuber, and he basically, can I say the name of his? Yeah, if I can remember it. But anyway, so he made a video about 2 years ago. He's got his tongue split. So he had a tongue piercing and he's had his tongue split. So he's got the old tongue, and he's got one of his eyeballs completely tattooed blue. And he had a video go viral. And he was on like 4,500 subscribers. And over a weekend, he jumped up to, I think he's on like 175,000 subscribers now. But his videos get 3,000 views, 8,000 views, 500 views. Because his...
Yeah, frozen. Either that or I've frozen. I don't know what people say in the chat. One of us is frozen.
Yeah, I think we're back now.
You're back. Did I freeze as well?
Yeah, we both did. I don't know what the hell's going on. But the point I'm trying to make is he got loads of subscribers off the back of a viral video, and it means nothing now. He's got a really high subscriber count, but nobody's watching his content because it's not what they subscribed for. And this is why when people say, oh, would you ever stop making videos about flat Earth? I slot other things in with it, but I don't think I'd ever be able to stop making videos about flat Earth because people subscribe to me to see me making fun of flat Earthers.
Well, that's why I've taken Baldy Cats for a long while now, months. Well, it's been a long time, but Baldy Cats doesn't make videos on flat Earth anymore. I don't know if I did one on diffraction, and Nathan Oakley not knowing what diffraction is, but I saw that more as a lesson on diffraction than really flat Earth.
Yeah.
But that was about 6 to 8 months ago, and Baldy Cats won't do flat Earthers anymore. It will do, other things like creationism, the anti-vaxxers and the anti-maskers and stuff like that. It'll do that kind of stuff, and it'll hop around topics. But it won't. Anything I do flat Earth will just be conspiracy cats, and then people that want that can watch that there. People that want a broader spectrum can go to Baldy Cats.
Yeah. But, it's like I say, people subscribe to you for what you do. And if you don't do that, then they don't like it. And they're not going to watch, There's loads of other things I would love to talk about. Like one of my favorite channels to watch is Leon Lush. I love his content. Absolutely love it. It's what we do, but it's got nothing to do with conspiracy. He's talked about... what's his name? Kenneth Copeland and other prosperity preachers. I'll be honest, that's where I got the idea from to make a video about Kenneth Copeland. But, he doesn't do any conspiracy content. But if I suddenly switched over to doing that, my views would take a nosedive. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that happen to a few channels. Red Pill Philosophy was another one. He made... Now, I think they were quite distasteful, the type of video he made his name off. It was, people getting attacked in the street or men hitting women and stuff like that. And he put them out there. Yeah. A lot got put down, but they went quite viral. He got, I think he got up to about 200,000 subscribers off that. And then he switched to making flat Earth videos, which obviously his subscriber base weren't really interested in. And again, his views on 2,000 subscribers was zero. But he complained about being censored. He wouldn't see the fact that he's completely changed the type of video he's making. And to a topic nobody's interested in, and he'd say, "Oh, I'm being shadow banned." You're not being shadow banned. You're just not making the content people subscribe for.
And the thing is that I'm no algorithm expert, because if I was, I'd have more subscribers. But the algorithm serves your content based on people's viewing habits. So if people watch your videos all the time and Simon Dan's videos all the time, then the algorithm would probably suggest my content to them. And if I suddenly decided I was going to make cookery videos, the algorithm wouldn't know who to show my content to. And that's why that when somebody does decide to take their channel in a different direction, they see a huge drop off, and it doesn't always pick back up again because they've stopped catering to their core audience.
Absolutely. And which is fine. People have got, people want to change the content that they're providing. That's fine. People put out what they want.
Yeah.
But when you get the conspiracy theories that do that and then say, "Oh, I'm being shadow banned," you think, "Oh my God, you used to make videos about crochet, and now you're talking about flat Earth." Of course, you're not getting the same views as you were before.
I think if you is that crocheting to flat Earth aimed at a specific channel, because if it is, I think I know the channel you're talking about. It's a woman, and I've made a video about her a couple of times. Or was that just something you packed out of the air?
No, it is, and it was, and I can't remember who it is, but I watched it ages ago, and she complained that she wasn't getting the views she used to. And when I looked at her old videos, they were all crocheting, and now she's just flat Earth.
She's got a quarter of a million subscribers, and her videos get 80 views, 250 views, because she's not making all those people subscribe to her for crocheting videos, like you say. She's not making crocheting videos anymore. Guess what? People aren't going to watch. Because they subscribe for crochet, not flat Earth lunacy.
That's it. But there we go. Well, I'm disappointed Howard didn't bob back to say hello in the chat.
Yeah. I know. I thought he might have, to be honest with you, but it is what it is, isn't it? He just wasn't. He just wasn't up to the challenge, was he?
I'll see if he's emailed.
I've had a look when I looked.
That is one of my most favourite things, though. You know, we're in a debate. Have you brought your evidence? No, I didn't bring any. It's all on my channel. It's like, right, okay.
Yeah, well, the idea of this wasn't to show people what was on his channel. It was for him to bring his best arguments and debate you, because it was a debate, or it was meant to be anyway.
Yeah. So, oh well, dear me. Maybe he's talking about it on Twitter. We'll see. Exactly. The rant is still in the chat, and I'm going to mention something about 20 minutes on that, but I'm going to leave that 20 minutes till we're just about to finish. God, I'm lost of what to say now, mate. I'm
the same. You know, I'm still trying to find the name of that channel I was talking about, because it's a perfect example of what I was talking about earlier on. And, like, you know, the collaborations I've done with Dan, you know, the first time I picked up, you know, that was what tipped me over the 10,000 subscriber mark. But the second time I went on, it was like people didn't want to see me on there again, because, you know, the video didn't do particularly well. And I got more insulting comments from that video than I've ever had on my own channel, you know, because they're there for Dan. They're not there for me. Yeah. You know, I still get people coming across and saying, "Oh, I saw you on Simon Dan's channel," which is fantastic. And I'm grateful to Dan for, you know, for allowing me to use his platform to help grow my own. But, you know, it's just proof that being on a huge channel isn't a guarantee of becoming a huge channel yourself.
Jack Russell just said, "Conspiracy Cats, what happened to the debate?" He rage quit. It took him about 5 minutes and he rage quit. He brought no evidence, told us to look at his YouTube channel for his evidence, and then wanted to be the judge and jury. He wanted to interrupt. In his own words, every time he thought I was lying, he just wanted to shout and interrupt. So when we said this is an adult's channel and actually we allow each other to finish speaking, he rage quit. So
he's actually only the second person I've ever had to mute as well. The other one was Rory.
Was it Rory?
Rory, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Rory. I had to mute Rory multiple times.
He was a bit rude as well.
Yeah, he was a bit, but you could see how this was going to go right from the off. You know, when he was giving his opening statement, I obviously I could see what you were doing, and you were sitting there listening. When you were giving your opening statement, he was looking around the room and looking at his phone, and, you know, so he wasn't even paying attention. So, to my mind, he had absolutely no interest in anything you had to say. He was just here purely to shout over you.
Well, yeah, that's it, and that's what a lot of debates have come. It's a case of, like, if you can just shout over someone and put them in their place, then, you know, you've schooled someone, and that's it. You've owned somebody, and you know, there's a much more mature audience out there that actually want to listen to what both sides of the argument have got to say, which is what we're hoping to cater for. And
exactly,
that's it.
And unfortunately, on this occasion, we didn't. It wasn't what it said on the tin. Wasn't what it said on the tin.
Still, it is what it is.
Exactly.
Right. What's going on in the chat? Team Yankee 2, I'll debate you all. It's not a globe. Drop us an email, mate. Drop us an email, agree to disagree @gmail.com. You know, all we ask, like we've tried to show tonight, is that people. Oh, it's an oblate spheroid. Never mind. Never mind what I've said there. He schooled me on that one.
Well, I'm gonna shill this other channel out, right? It's called Valonius TV. It's right up my street. I've just shared the link for it. But if you click on the link and have a look at that channel, you'll see exactly what I'm saying. You know, he's on 175,000 subscribers. His last his last 6 videos, 2,500 views, 15,000 views, 13,000 views, 18,000, 17,000, 10,000. So that's 10% of his audience, approximately. You know, when the first video that's got 2,500 views has been on his channel for 2 weeks. And he told me himself, I've spoken to him tons, he's a really cool guy. And he said it ruined his channel. His channel was steadily growing. Obviously, he's got a bright blue eyeball and a split tongue, so people are bound to ask him about it. So he thought it was a good idea to make a video about it. And it killed his channel. Absolutely killed his channel, which is a shame.
I can imagine. I can imagine the algorithm looking like you say. You get that sudden rush of subscribers. None of them actually stick around, and then the YouTube algorithm is thinking he's released a video and nobody's watching it.
Yeah, because you know, even I'm sure you find the same thing on your channel. Even on my channel, you know, I'm on 41,300 and something, and I've been up for the last 2 or 3 weeks. I've been between 41.3 and 41.4. I've nearly hit 41.4, and then I lose about 50 subscribers. Slowly creeps back up, then I lose more again. I can't seem to crack that 41,400. So I don't know if it's a seasonal thing or what's going on. But you know, like I was saying, I'm on call it 41,000 subscribers. You know, my own channel at the moment, I don't know what's going on. Again, I'm hoping it's a seasonal thing. But you know, my last 6 videos. Yesterday's videos on 6.9k. Tuesdays is on 12,000. Last Friday's is on 12,000. Tuesday before 17,000. Friday before that 15,000. Tuesday before that 12,000. So that's what's that? About a quarter of my subscriber base are choosing to watch my content. So is that because they stumbled across me, saw one of my videos and thought, oh, this is great, I'm gonna subscribe here, and then they forget and never watch again? Because I do that myself. I'll stumble across a video and I think, oh, I'll subscribe to this guy, and then never watch anything he does again. You know, there's so many variables in it.
You've got to get, like, I mean, I'm the same, and I tend to just go with what is in my recommendations feed, which is what you would hope is the channels that you subscribe to, but you do forget. Yeah. Well, mine's going through a similar thing. I woke up the other morning, and I just checked. I had my YouTube thing on with the number of subscribers I had, and I refreshed, and I instantly lost about 140 subscribers. And that's happened a few times. And I think YouTube are obviously getting rid of a lot of accounts that aren't watching videos often. And I think I suffer from that quite a bit because I put videos out so rarely, and I spread them out between 2 channels, that it's very easy for someone not to go 6 or 7 weeks without watching one of my videos because I just don't put them out. And I think I'm losing quite a lot from that. And my views are down as well, but I need to get my finger out and do some work.
Apparently, like all the YouTube gurus that I subscribe to, the one thing that they all have in common is that you have to be consistent for your channel to have sustained growth and success. So you know, that's why I try to never miss. But your situation is different from mine. You know, we've all got to put food on the table and keep a roof over our heads, haven't we? And if this doesn't do that, then you've got to work. Do you know what I mean?
So I mean, I made a choice about 12 months ago, like, because I was trying to keep up a more regular slot, and I just had to make a choice. I was either going to take YouTube seriously and then stress if the videos didn't do well, and get stressed if they got demonetized, or I was going to treat it as a hobby that I enjoyed for fun and put all my focus into the business I set up. I'm self-employed now. And it was I was on a real sort of like knife edge, but I I thought, you know what, I'll treat the YouTube as a hobby. So now it's almost like a get out clause for myself. If things don't go so well, I just it's a hobby, you know.
Yeah.
But it's nice to have.
Yeah, exactly. Karen Michelle Fox has just said in the side chat, I unsubscribed once because I thought you were being nasty. Funny is fine for me, but not mean. Who was that aimed at, Karen? Was that aimed at me, or I can't imagine it was aimed at cats? And I don't think I'm particularly nasty about anyone. You know, everything I say is said tongue in cheek. You know, so I wouldn't say I was nasty about anyone, but maybe I'm misunderstanding my own humor. We've had a couple of super chats come in off JL Warren. Creaky Chapter 9, that armor, am I right? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. And cats will have to catch up to find out what that reference is. And we've had another super chat come in from Douglas.
Super chat.
I prefer my blinders creaky, not frozen. Well, so do I. So do I. Yeah, so I'm curious now what was it Karen her name was it? Yeah, Karen Michelle Fox. Was it me you unsubscribed from or somebody else? Cats being the somebody else. Because I really don't think I'm nasty to anyone in my videos. I don't personally attack. The only personal attack I ever make is I will make fun of somebody's accent because that's the joke. Because I haven't got one, and that's
you haven't got an accent at all. No.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was me. It was me. She unsubscribed. Yeah. So yes, it was you. It's a fine line, I think, of humor and too much nasty. But I don't think I'm ever nasty to anyone I make a video about. I would strongly argue that I am never nasty to anyone.
I try and walk that line as well, but it's sometimes I do accidentally say something and think, oh, you know what, that's come across different.
I can't. Obviously, now I don't know how many people in the side chat are my subscribers as well as this channel subscribers, but if you've watched a lot of my videos, give me one example of a time you think I took it too far. Give me an example of when I was nasty to somebody I made a video about. And that's not, you know, if I call a flat earther a moron, that ain't being nasty because flat earthers are morons, as Howard proved earlier on. So I don't think that's particularly nasty. That's just flat earthers are morons. I don't know how else to spin it. I don't consider that to be a nasty thing to say. I don't know. Somebody give me an example. I think you'll struggle to give me an example unless I cannot see the wood for the trees. Randy's saying, I've never even made a video about you, Randy.
Me neither.
There's certain people I won't make videos about, and Randy's one of them, and that's because he doesn't do anything that aggravates me, apart from being a flat earther, but that's not enough. I've got to see somebody's video, and it's got to, I'll say it's got to trigger me in some way, because if it doesn't, I can't make a video about them. Did Howard say he has a channel, by the way?
Does what, sorry?
Did Howard say he has a YouTube channel?
He did say, apparently it's packed full of evidence, but Adrian Clark's asked me a few times. Sorry, mate, I was just finding the right time. Oh, you don't have to apologise, just apologise. See guitars, how into music actually are you? Would I consider a collab? You know what, I was thinking, and I did mention this to Broman Legion, because I know he plays a lot, he's very good, of doing like getting a creator Christmas thing, you know, covering or writing a Christmas thing, and a few could be on guitar and stuff. I just haven't got the time at the minute. Honestly, mate, I am so busy in my real life. I just don't even want to say how busy I am. It's ridiculous. But yes, when I was winding back 6 or 7 years ago, I'd be gigging in a band every Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday afternoon. Then it creeped into a night in the week, and it were manic, and it just got a bit too much. So I just play for fun now because it just took over. But yeah, I used to play like pubs and weddings and stuff like that in a covers band, just like a party band. Sorry, off you, Creaky.
Logan Clark is saying, as far as me being nasty, he thinks it could be a cultural perspective because in Canada, almost any insult is considered to be nasty. I don't know. What do you think, Kat? Do you think, I'm not asking you to say if you think I'm nasty or not, but I can't see anything I may or may not have said that could be considered to be. Mike M wants to know, is he blocked by us? No, you're not, Mike M, because I've just read your message out. I don't know. It just, I can't see how anybody could interpret what I do as being nasty, especially when they've come to see me do that thing.
No, I think it's I think that there can be a fine line between banter and being a little bit over the top. But I don't think I've ever heard you. I'm not going to use the bad language here, but if you listen to some of the channels that are out there and some of the ways people like to speak, it's nothing like that, is it? You know what I mean? Nothing like that. It's all cheeky banter, and I think there's a room for banter. I don't want everyone to become a snowflake and not appreciate a little bit of banter. And with that, we've got to take it as well. We give it and we've got to take it. I take my fair share. I know you've taken yours.
Yeah, Christ. Yeah. The thing is, though, see, and I'm not saying this is the case with Karen's comment, but we're living in an offended culture. So pretty soon, words are going to be offensive. Even the ones we're speaking now, which is a civil conversation between two adults, somebody would somehow be able to consider that to be offensive, because that's how it feels sometimes, is you literally cannot say anything. 3-4 years down the line, if I'm lucky enough to still be doing this, are my videos just going to be all me holding up carefully planned out cards with sentences written on them that I've had vetted to ensure that there's absolutely no possibility that they will offend somebody?
Yeah, it's getting. I noticed Irish Demon put out a video the other day about having comments. I think someone called him a moron, and or he called someone a moron. I can't remember for insulting him, and got like a ban from Facebook or so. I think we're in danger of moving into an era. I'll try that again. We're in danger of moving into an era where it's way gone too far the other way. It's way gone too far the other way. And anything like banter or any kind of opinion, I don't know. It's now even wrong to have certain opinions, however you voice them. And I don't know. I mean, because I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. The new Doctor Who is shit. I'm going to say it. This is my opinion. The new Doctor Who is shit, and I'll tell you why it's shit. I'm on my horse now, right? My high horse, and I'm going to get slated for this. But I like Jodie Whittaker. I think she's a brilliant actress. I think she does a great job with the scripts that she's given. A lot of time for her. But to satisfy some sort of diversity policy they've got at the BBC, to satisfy whatever sort of agenda they've got out there at the minute, they took an existing show, rewrote the entire backstory, turned all the stories to absolute crap to make them more social justice warrior type thing, and they ruined it. Now, I have no problem with there being female leads in shows at all. I've got no problem with shows being about race or gender or whatever, but create something original and new that's good. Don't take something pre-existing and shit all over it. So, yeah, I do like my Doctor Who. I think it's been ruined.
The last time I watched Doctor Who, Tom Baker was the Doctor, so I'm maybe slightly behind. It's
it got really good.
When I say that I don't think Monty Python's funny, which I don't, people really don't like that. Don't say Monty Python isn't funny as a Brit, whatever you do. Oh, damn.
I agree with you, mate.
It's not.
I agree with you on that. It's not.
I don't get that sort of humor. My youngest boy will show me a video. He'll say, "Oh, look at this, Dad. It's hilarious." And I watch it and I'm thinking, yeah, but I'm not 17, boy. It's not funny. Oh, Dad, have you seen the new Borat film is out? Well, the first one was shit. So what makes you think the second one's not going to be shit as well? Yeah. The only thing I've ever found Sacha Baron Cohen funny in is Ali G. And I know there's a lot of people that don't find Ali G funny and they find Ali G highly offensive. But everybody likes different things. And unfortunately, everybody will always find something about something to be offended by.
Yeah, I liked Ali G. Jim's mind says, did I watch Torchwood? I did watch Torchwood, but that's obviously not been out for a few years, and that was set when Doctor Who was really good. So I did. Hopefully the New Year's episode will have learnt its lessons and be a bit better. So there we go.
I'm looking at something beyond while we're talking about offence, right? Because I never used to like Ricky Gervais, right? But I do like him now. I've kind of got into him, and I find Ricky Gervais funny. And he was being interviewed about the afterlife, and he was asked to explain how he deals with people who claim his humour is offensive. And what did he say? He said he doesn't think any joke can be considered to be offensive. If I tell a joke now and you don't think it's funny, that's on you. That doesn't mean it's not funny. It means you didn't find it funny, or you found it offensive. It doesn't mean that the joke was offensive, if that makes sense. And the way he explained it a lot better than I just butchered it. But just because you're offended, it doesn't mean you're right. Some people are offended by equality. We've seen that more and more in the past few years. I say you have to know who the target of the joke is and what the subject is to find it funny. You can make jokes about a race without being racist. You can make jokes about sexes without being sexist. And I know Ricky Gervais is very, very edgy, and I would never dream of saying any of the things he says, because people are so easily offended nowadays, and they really are.
Yeah, it's very rare, I find. I mean, there have been occasions when I've heard a joke and not necessarily been offended, but just stunned that someone would make a joke like that and think, how can anybody find that funny? And I think some jokes, especially if they're about public figures, I do worry about, like, how especially if it's about someone who's died or whatever, you think, how would the people who've heard that joke, who knew that person, react? You know, so like when there was a spell where there were lots of jokes about Lady Di and stuff like that, and I'm not, but think, well, actually, her kids are still out there, and do we want that published on? I don't know, but it's very rare, very rare that I find.
But again, it's a fine line, isn't it? And unfortunately, the times we live in dictate that we have to be careful about what we say, for fear of offending somebody with something that probably isn't that offensive in the first place.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, there's literally nothing you can say, and people are dropping names now like Frankie Boyle. I don't think Frankie Boyle is funny myself, but that doesn't mean he isn't funny. It just means I don't find him funny. You know, it's it's strange times we live in.
Face Gallon has said Stuart Lee. I don't know if anybody's seen Stuart Lee, and I think he does take a little while to get into, but I think Stuart Lee is hilarious. He's a very different type of comedy, like very clever, but I've got a lot of time for Stuart Lee. I think he's hilarious.
Ivy Gentry is offended that everybody gets offended. So am I. Oh, we got Gleam in the side chat. Since last week's debate, I have barely listened to anything else in my car except Gleam.
He's good, isn't it? It's catchy.
He is really good. And I'm not saying that just because I can see him in the side chat. It's awesome. I do like reggae anyway. It's one of the genres of music I enjoy. But it's really good stuff. Really, really good stuff.
Yeah. You'd have to post again in the chat, Gleam, how you access it, like the places. So
I
adjust your brightness.
I just typed Gleam into Spotify, and there's I forget how many tracks, but there's a lot of tracks on there, and it's awesome stuff. Absolutely awesome. Go and check out his music on Spotify.
Yeah,
he's really good.
So there we go. Well, we haven't got long left. Do you mind me taking 5 minutes to discuss the new venture?
Take whatever you want, mate.
Are you sure, mate? And then I'll disappear, or
knock yourself out. I'll give you the full screen.
All right, we'll take 2 minutes.
I nearly removed you then. Don't want to do that. Oh, there we are. You've got the full screen, and I'll just sit here and listen.
Oh, well, God, you put me on the spot now, mate. I was going to discuss it with you, but no, Ranty's in the chat. We, if you check out after this debate is finished in about 9 o'clock, not now. But if you check out my channel or Ranty's channel, there's like a little promo for something that is arriving. We've decided to do something that's completely unrelated to Flat Earth, something that's well away from all the arguments and the vitriol of Flat Earth, something that's just fun. And there's a podcast on Spotify where we're talking about a podcast called Almost Unbelievable. And if you listen to that, there's only one episode on at the minute. We're recording another one this weekend, but guests will come on and they'll give us stories very much like you do on Coast to Coast AM or Jim Howell's Campfire, those type of podcasts. And me and Ranty would afterwards have a little bit of a chat, and I'd try and explain using science why the people who've come on might think they've experienced what they've experienced. Ranty will give his opinions, we'll have a chat about it. But it's all explained more thoroughly in the video that in 5 minutes' time, if you check out on Ranty's channel or my channel, it will be explained there. But I did promise that I would give that a shout out there. And Ranty's in the chat if you want to ask him anything about it. But I'll come back to you now, Creaky. Sorry.
Sorry. I was trying to find Gleam's playlist on Spotify so I could share it for him in the side chat. But damn, I've hit the wrong button now. I've just closed Spotify. Just search Gleam on Spotify, GLEM, in case you needed help spelling it. Sorry. What have we got lined up for next week then, Kat? I know you've touched on that you were taking the reins tomorrow, but what excitement have we got coming up?
Well, I'm still trying to secure it, but I'm hoping it's going to be another debate on creation. But this time, if I can get it right, involving quite a well-known YouTuber. So we shall see if I can just get that secured for Wednesday next week. Tomorrow we've got one on free speech, which will be in about 25 hours' time. So wherever you are in the world, an hour ahead of now. But I'll be running that, so expect technical disaster after technical disaster.
My tip would be make sure that when you set it up, or I can set it up in StreamYard if you want this. Just make sure that you change it to public before we click the go live button, because you can't change it after. And I've not been able to show what people are saying on the screen, which is the thing I was most excited about. And to be honest, was the selling point for me of StreamYard. But
getting the comments on the screen.
Yeah.
I think until tomorrow, until I've had some practice, tomorrow I'll go back to OBS and I'll practice it on a unlisted stream on the weekend, because if I do this tomorrow with no experience, I'll break Google. That's what I'll do. I'll break the internet.
Break the internet.
I will.
Oh dear me.
So there we go. Oh yes, I will do that, Ranty. Sorry, yeah, I will absolutely do that. I'm kind of running out of things to say. I know my my little ones want to watch I'm a Celeb with me about 9 o'clock. Have you got much else you want to? No,
I just want to go and watch Ant and Dec.
Should we thank George Howard, whatever his name was, for his spectacular performance early on?
This guy found Gleam Spotify page and I've just shared it in the side chat.
Oh, amazing.
Go and listen to some reggae music. Sorry, what did you say?
I'm not sure what I said.
No,
I'm not sure what I said.
I heard you say it, but I'm a bad influence. I can suck people's memories straight out of their ear. Yeah, it's not a good way to live your life, guys and girls. Somebody wants to have my babies. That means it's a bloke. It's always a bloke or a really old woman. Always. But thank you. I've got plenty of babies. 3. What? Should we wrap it up, guys?
Let's do it. I was going to say I want a kid. Problem is I've got 2, so how do I solve that one?
Yeah. And once you get beyond 2, it makes it much more difficult to pick your favorite, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when they're watching.
I know. It's terrible. But there we go. Have you got anything else you want to say? Or do we...
Other than hop over to my video, my channel, and just watch the video I released early on the trailer. Other than that, nope.
Good show. Thank you very much indeed to everybody who's super chatted. Thank you to everyone who's become a channel member. I believe you can continue to sign up as a free channel member right up until midnight on New Year's Eve. And thank you from me. And thank you to my cohort, Mr. Conspiracy Cat. And we are out here.
Auf
Take
Wiedersehen.
care, everyone. Love you. Bye.
Bye-bye.